Welcome to IAS project. In this video, we will talk about the society that was existing during early Vedic period. During early Vedic period, there were many popular assemblies. These popular assemblies can also be called as popular bodies. The word popular means that it consists of many people. For example, during Rig Vedic period, there were popular assemblies like sabha, samiti, vidatha and gana. There were different functions performed by each of these popular assemblies. Generally, these popular assemblies performed deliberative functions, religious functions, and military functions. We know about military functions. For example, there was a popular assembly called as gana, which was performing a military function. So, gana was basically an assembly of fighters or a troop of fighters, and such kind of gana was led by a ganapati. We already talked about this in our last video. Moreover, these popular assemblies were also having religious functions. For example, offering sacrifices and performing rituals was also the function of these popular assemblies. Similarly, these popular assemblies also had deliberative functions. For example, they used to discuss on the matters of battles and wars. For example, like they used to gather and then they used to discuss which clan should be raided for cattle, or which village of another tribe should be attacked next. So these kind of discussions were also made by these popular assemblies. These popular assemblies were very powerful during Rig Vedic period. That is why sometimes even the king had to take the support of these popular assemblies. For example, king usually took the support of samiti as well as sabha for various activities. Particularly for military activities, the support from Gana was very important even for the king. Because we have learnt that during Rig Vedic period, king did not have a standing army. Since he did not have a standing army, he used to depend on the Gana for his military. And the king was also used to depend on sabha and samiti for discussing which villages should be attacked next and how to protect the cattle and how to get the cattle from other tribes. Let's talk about the different kind of tribal assemblies or popular assemblies that were existing during early Vedic period. The first one and the most important one was Sabha was basically a small council of elders or elites. Please notice the word small here. Small here means that Sabha was an exclusive body. It was not open for everyone. Only elites and only elders were participating in the Sabha. Another popular assembly was Samiti. This Samiti was basically a general assembly of entire people. So from the entire people word here, we can say that it was a general assembly. That is why it was a large body. Moreover, Samiti was also presided over by Rajan. From this, we can understand the importance of Samiti for the Rajan so that he could conduct different activities and perform his duties. Another important popular assembly was Vidatha. Vidatha was basically a tribal assembly which had various functions. And the last one we have seen, it was nothing but Gana, and Gana mainly had military functions. And this Gana was headed by an officer called as Ganapati. So what you need to remember from this slide is that during Rig Vedic period, there were many popular assemblies like Sabha, Samiti, Vidatha and Gana. Moreover, these popular assemblies were very powerful so that even the king had to seek the support of these tribal assemblies from time to time. UPSC prelims will not ask you which type of tribal assembly or which type of popular assembly did what. At the most, the question that could be asked is Sabha, Samiti, Vidatha and Gana, what were these during Rig Vedic period? Then the answer would be they were popular bodies or they were popular assemblies. That's all. Moreover, in different books, the interpretation of these tribal assemblies is given in a different manner because exact interpretation is not available even today. Just remember these 2 points here. So, during the Rig Vedic period, the society was tribal and it was largely egalitarian. The word egalitarian means that the people in the society were more or less equal. It means that people were generally not differentiated on the basis of their caste or class or gender, etc. However, no society is purely egalitarian. That is why we always use comparative terms. So whenever we say Rig Vedic society was largely egalitarian, Then we are comparing the Rig Vedic society with the later Vedic society. In later Vedic society, we will learn that the egalitarian nature of Rig Vedic society has declined in the later Vedic society. When we say the Rig Vedic society was tribal, it means that the kinship was the basis of social structure in Rig Vedic society. As I told you before, kinship basically means that you are having relationship with the people. And this kind of relationship is generally gotten in two ways. Either it is blood relationship or the relationship is through marriage. So all the people who are related by blood or marriage are called as kin. And such kind of relationship is called as kinship. And kinship was the basis of social structure during Rig Vedic society. This is why we say the society of Rig Vedic period was a tribal society. Moreover, the Rig Vedic society or the early Vedic society was a patrilineal society and a patriarchal society. Patriarchal society simply means that men have dominance in various activities. For example, the head of the family is a father in a patriarchal society. That is why father is also called as a patriarch in a patriarchal society. We also have what is known as matriarchal society. In matriarchal societies, women dominate. Moreover, women are also the head of their houses. But Vedic societies were not matriarchal societies. They were patriarchal societies. They were also patrilineal. Patrilineal means that children get their last name or surname from their father and they can trace their ancestry according to the male lineage. For example, if my name is Rohit Sharma, then I get the name Sharma from my father, not from my mother. Moreover, in patrilineal societies, it is the sons that get the inheritance of their fathers. So the early Vedic society was a patrilineal society and a patriarchal society. And kinship was the basis of social structure of Rig Vedic society. That is why we call Rig Vedic society as a tribal society. So the people were identified according to their specific clans. And one or more clans together formed a jana. And jana is nothing but a tribe. So since kinship was the basis of the social structure, people were loyal to their kin. That means people were loyal to their jana or to their tribe. Please note that the word jana appears in the Rig Veda, but the word janapada does not appear in the Rig Veda. We know the meaning of jana. Jana simply means tribe. But what is the meaning of janapada? Janapada literally means that where jana set its foot. Or in simple terms, we can say where jana started to settle, that is called as janapada. So janapada is basically the territory in which the tribe was living. Or we can call it as kingdom. So in the Rig Veda, the word Janapada does not appear. That is why during the Rig Vedic period, Janapada was not established. So there was no distinct boundary of a kingdom or the territory of a kingdom in the early Vedic period. This is very, very important. So during the early Vedic society, people were living in gramas. Grama was initially not a village. Okay, initially grama meant a fighting horde. We discussed in our last video, fighting horde simply means a group of Aryan fighters. But when people started to settle, the meaning of grama changed. It became village. So originally grama meant fighting horde. And when fighting hordes or gramas clashed, it caused what is called as a sangrama. Sangrama is nothing but war. So when gramas clashed, sangrama happened. We have also learned that the term vis usually meant clan or tribe. There was also another meaning for the word vis. Vis also meant common people. This is where the word Vaishya comes from. Vaishya generally means common people. That is, those who are not Brahmins and those who are not Kshatriya. If we talk about the word family, then Rig Veda has two words for the word family. They are nothing but kula and griha. Griha is sometimes called as graham or sometimes it is also called as griham. So all these three mean the same thing. So there are two words in Rig Veda for family. One is kula, the other is griha or graham. The word kula is rarely used. However, the word graham is frequently used. So we can say graham was the most common word that meant family. We know that kula was headed by a person called as kulapa. Kulapa is basically the head of the family. Moreover, the Rig Vedic family was a joint family. It included not only the family members but also the slaves that were serving the family. So please remember this. In the early Vedic society, the basic unit of the society was griha or graham, which is nothing but family. We have learnt in our previous video the basic political unit was kula. So the basic social unit is griha, whereas the basic political unit was kula. Both mean the same thing, which is nothing but family. The head of the graham or griha was called as grahapati or grihapati, and his wife was called as sapatni. So kula was headed by kulapa and griha was headed by grahapati. Since kula and graha both mean family, that is why grahapati and kulapa both mean head of the family. During the Rig Vedic period, the family was patrilineal as well as patriarchal, and a group of related families formed a village which is nothing but grama. Related families means that the grama was formed on the basis of kinship. Kinship is nothing but people who are related by blood or marriage. That is how a village was formed during early Vedic period. Since the Rig Vedic society was a patriarchal society, generally male children were preferred, and these people also preferred to have cattle. This again shows the importance of cattle. Here in Rig Veda, cattle are compared to male children. So people were praying for male children. On the other hand, having daughters was considered as a burden. So here you can notice the gender difference that is existing within the household. I want to make something clear at this point. All the information that I am sharing you in this video is taken from a fixed number of books which are recommended for civil services examination. So our aim is only to learn from the point of view of history syllabus that will help us in clearing the exam. We will not go into morals and ethics of this period. We will not compare the society which we are discussing in this lecture with contemporary society and then discuss on its morals and ethics, because that is beyond our scope here. Moreover, we will also not go into being politically correct or religiously correct, because this is not a theology lecture. Please keep that in mind while studying. So whatever I am teaching you in these videos, you will get it from the books like old NCERT, new NCERT, Tamil Nadu board textbooks, both old and new, Poonam Dalal Dahiya book, and also A.L. Basham book. So every point and every sentence that is explained in this video, you will find the reference in these books. And whatever is written in these books, we will consider as it is important from the point of view of exam. And in these video lectures, we will not discuss whether what is written in these books is correct or not. I hope my objective is clear. Whatever the case is, we need to encourage positive discussion. So if you believe anything in this lecture is wrong from the point of view of these books or from the point of view that is important for the exam, then we should have a healthy discussion in the comment section. Okay, let's go forward. Let's talk about the marriages in early Vedic society. The institution of marriage was properly established, and the suitable age for marriage was 16 to 17 years of age. If we talk about the type of marriage that was there in early Vedic society, then monogamy was the most common practice. Monogamy simply means that a person has only one spouse. So a husband would be having only one wife. This is nothing but monogamy. However, in some cases, polygamy was also practiced. Polygamy means that a person has two or more spouses. So if there is a husband, then he may have two wives or more wives. Or if there is a wife, then she may have two husbands or more husbands. This is called as polygamy. So if you see here, there are two types of polygamy. If one husband is having two or more wives, it is called as polygyny. If one wife is having two or more husbands, then such kind of marriage is called as polyandry. So we can say that polygamy is of two types, polygyny or polyandry. So in the case of early Vedic society, monogamy was the most common practice, whereas polygamy was also practiced. For example, polygamy was prevalent in royal families and noble families, and this polygamy was generally polygyny. As I told you, polygyny means that one husband takes two or more wives. For example, if there was a king, then there used to be two or more wives for that king. Common people generally did not have polygamy. Common people only had monogamy. Moreover, there is no reference to divorce in Rig Veda. So we can say that marriage was probably indissoluble. Indissoluble means once a couple is married, then there is no divorce and they cannot get separated. Like it is married for life kind of situation. But we know that Aryans were very much interested in battles and wars. That is why there were also some widows. In case of Rig Veda, we have evidence of widow remarriage also. For example, the practice of levirate existed. Let me explain you what levirate is. For example, let's say there is a couple and the husband has died. Now the woman has become a widow. What happens in levirate is this widow has to marry the brother of the husband. This kind of arrangement is called as levirate. So in case of levirate, what happens is a man has to marry his brother's widow. So such kind of practice was there in early Vedic period. But in the case of early Vedic period, we did not find any evidence of child marriage. That is why child marriages were probably absent during early Vedic period. So this is about the marriages that were existing in early Vedic period. Please try to answer this question. Consider the below terms that appear in Vedic literature: grama, graham, kula and jana. Which of the above denotes a family? If you know the answer to this question, please comment in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. You can download this presentation from our Telegram channel IAS project. The link for this channel is given in the description section below. Thank you.